Hello there, welcome back to another stop tour on another virtual pipe organ. This time, it's an organ that I myself have made. You can actually use an organ builder within GrandOrgWay to construct your own organ. And the way you do this, it provides you with all these different lists of how you want the organ to look, and how it provides you with how you can name your stop, create a new stop, and then name it, and then you have to provide a series of audio files within a folder. Once again, the folder of audio files, that is a rank of pipes. Provide your own audio files to the stops that you have added. And I have done that for all of these stops here by borrowing audio from the extended Berea church organ that we saw in the previous video. I took some of the audio files from that organ and put them into this new organ that I made. So once again, it's the same thing, 3 manuals and pedal with expression right here, but there's no pistons. And especially like no manual couplers. There's no manual or even octave couple. Well, there are couplers over here actually, but I don't need them because I only have one MIDI keyboard. So, if you would like a basic explanation of how virtual pipe organ works, you're going to have to watch the beginning of my previous video. But if you've already seen that video and you would like to see this organ now, please proceed with watching. So, the first organ, first division we're going to have is once again the Great Division. So let's start off with our flutes instead. So the smallest one here is a 2-foot piccolo, gets quite high. Very high note there at the end. That highest note is a C 5 octaves higher than middle C. So take the middle C note, add 5 octaves higher than that, over 8,000 vibrations. That pipe is only 3/4 of an inch long. So I'm expecting this stop tour to be not quite as long as the previous episode of the extended Berea Church. Not going to be quite as long of a stop tour, hopefully, because there are fewer stops. So essentially, on the Berea Church extended organ, the manual and pedal board, the manuals were 56 keys, and the pedal board was only 30 keys. However, for this one, this is the full 5-octave manual, a full 61-key manual, and a 32-key pedal board. So essentially, this organ that I have made, it has fewer ranks than that Berea Church extended organ. It has fewer ranks, but my ranks are larger, essentially. How on Berea Church, it stops here at G. It stops there at a G, but my organ, it goes all the way to the C. So yeah, quick disclaimer. So, that was the 2-foot piccolo. Here's an octave higher, no, an octave lower, 4-foot flute. Very nice round sound for some of those notes there, especially the lower ones. Okay, another octave lower, an 8-foot bass flute. Here is yet another octave lower, a 16-foot Contra Flute. Pretty rare. I'm actually pretty sure if there were any 16-foot flutes, they would be quite rare on organs. Much quieter this time, though. I'm going to be as quiet as possible for this rank here. So some pretty low notes there at the end. Once again, 16 feet. quite low. Then we have a couple of trumpets here. 8-foot trumpet. Very nice brass sound, quite loud, quite full. And I like how the guy that recorded the audio files for these trumpets, it's very glad he did this. He got each and every trumpet sound to be like equally as loud and equally as full. So it's not like this octave of pipes is too loud and then this higher octave is way too quiet. He got the whole rank of trumpet pipes super loud. Like so. Then a 16-foot Contra Trumpet. Should sound familiar with the 16-foot trumpet in the Berea Church organ, because that's literally what it is. I literally just took the audio from that organ, just throw it into this one. So you're not actually hearing a whole new rank of pipes. It's the same Berea Church ranks of pipes, but just put into this organ. So basically all I'm doing is playing most of the Berea Church organ via a different organ with different stop names. That's basically all it is. So, here we have the most basic organ stop there is, which Principal are basic organ pipes, and then 8-foot is standard pitch. An octave higher, 4-foot octave. Another octave higher, 2-foot Super Octave. Quite high. That's the same 5 octaves higher than middle C. That's the same 0.75 inches long. Very small pipe, super high frequency. Then we have a gigantic 16-foot diapason on a manual. And essentially how I did this was for the G above middle C down to the lowest note. That is the 16-foot principal in the pedal of the Berea Church organ. The rest of it is the 8-foot principal on the Great Manual of the Berea Church. So I essentially took a pedal rank. I took the pedal rank and extended the pedal rank with more Great Division pedal rank. No, Great Division principal rank. So right here at these notes, it transitions from pedal to great with principal pipes. You can kind of hear that slight difference in quality, sound quality. Then we have a big 5-rank mixture. And then here is our full principal chorus, but the difference between the Berea Church principal chorus of the 8-foot principal, 4-foot octave, 2-foot octave, and then 5-rank mixture, mine is the same, but mine has an added 16-foot diapason for an even deeper, richer sound. Screwed that up horribly, hang on. Whoops. Okay, so that was my horrendous attempt at the beginning of Toccata in D minor. That was an actually pretty dang bad attempt at Toccata. Like, literally half of that was wrong. Okay. Anyway, so that was the great divisions. So here's full great. I'm gonna do this differently. Wait, I never showed the tremulant. So the tremulant in the great division. How about the trumpet? Okay, there is the tremulant example with a trumpet. Now here is full great with tremulant. That was the great division. Let us move on to the positive division. How about we have here an 8-foot gamba. Once again, pretty quiet. Here we have 8-foot Crumhorn. Then we have 16-foot Contra Crumhorn, which on the Berea Church organ was called the Dulcian, but I didn't really care. I just called it the Contra Crumhorn. Because technically it is the same rank of pipes, but the extension to it. Then we have another, so here's an 8-foot Gedackt. And this is actually the 8-foot Gedackt from the Great Division of the Berea Church, but I stuck it into the Positive Division. Once again, the 8-foot Gedackt. The Gedackt rank is nothing but good notes all around, low and high. Pretty much every single pipe of the whole rank is pretty much perfect. Then the 16-foot Bourdon, Gedackt an octave lower, the extension to it. Once again, crank up your bass boost, turn volume up really low. There it is. We do have the Viol Celeste, which is, I've tuned it 25 cents sharp, which is one quarter of one semitone sharp. Combined with the 8-foot gamba, once again the wavering effect. With the wavering effect getting faster as you go higher and slower as you go lower. And also, for whatever dumb reason, the lowest octave of the Viol Celeste borrows pipes from a chimney flute, which is weird. Like how it totally transitions to a whole different sound at this low B. That is a whole different rank of pipes it borrows from right there. I'm not sure why it does that. Okay. No, here we have a 1 1/3 quint. Gets pretty dang high, like super, actually, like unbelievable high. Might just hear some slight breathing in the background for that highest note. And then the 1 3/5, slightly lower, only about, so let's see, about 3 semitones lower. No, wait, I've got... Once again, super high in the 9th octave, 3-rank Scharff, 3-rank mixture. And as I go up into different octaves, you will hear it reset back to previous octaves. Pretty cool. Which, by the way, all mixtures do that. They always go back down the octave at a certain note. Okay, 2-foot harmonic flute. And so that's the whole division. Okay, here is the tremulant example with a Bourdon. What is the lowest note with tremulant? Basically no difference. Okay, so here is full positive with tremulant. That's a little ridiculous. Okay, here is our swell division. We have actually the highest notes and the smallest pipes. You will hear even higher notes than what you heard from the Berea church organ over here. 2-foot wood flute. Right. A 4-foot chimney flute, the same one from the, I want to say, the Great Division in the Berea Church. We have another chimney flute an octave higher, but it's a whole different rank from a whole different division. Then we have 1-foot Hyper Octave. I've renamed it to Hyper Octave, hence 2-foot with Super Octave. I renamed this to Hyper Octave. This actually took quite a bit of tuning to make this sound decent and presentable. Whoops, too loud, hang on. There we go. Okay, if you cannot hear these highest notes, it's not you, it's just that high. It's so high, it actually leaves out of existence. If you couldn't hear those last notes, that's normal. That's just how high it is. That last note, that highest C, is inaudible. It is a C 6 octaves higher than middle C. 6 octaves higher. The human ear, it will go right past it undetected. Too high. Same thing, 1-foot whistle, another 1-foot rank. Taken from the 1-foot sifflet in the Berea church organ. Extended. So once again, these highest notes, probably not going to hear the highest ones, too high. But the pipe that plays that is only 3/8 of an inch, which is 0.375 inches. 3/8 of an inch, which is maybe a single centimeter. I'm not even sure a pipe that small exists anywhere. So, 2-rank cymbal. Whoa, volume is too high. There we go. A 2 2/3 quinte. What else is there? We have 4-foot Hohl Flute. Eight-foot Principal Flute. 8-foot Geigen Principal, which actually borrows some of the 16-foot Principal notes. And then just goes back to the main 8-foot Principal in the Great Division, just kind of transitions back to that. A 4-foot Viola, once again super quiet. Four-foot Gemshorn. 4-foot Principal. What else do we have? I'm pretty sure that's everything, actually. That's everything. Okay, tremulant example with, the cymbal. A mixture with a tremulant. I don't recommend it, actually. Yeah, wow. So here is full swell with tremulant. Now moving on to the pedal division, with some of the most massive stops in history, not even kidding. This has a recreation of the largest rank of organ pipes ever made, and we will actually start off with it, now that I've mentioned it. Yes, or no, actually no, your eyes are not deceiving you. This actually says 64. That is correct. No, don't clean your glasses, don't get eye contacts, no. This is correct. This actually says 64-foot Contra Trombone. So if you would like an example of the 64-foot here goes. Here is the largest trombone pipes ever made that actually does exist in Sydney Town Hall Grand Organ. But mine sounds different than theirs. Ladies and gentlemen, the world's lowest musical note. That was a C 5 octaves lower than middle C. 5 octaves lower. That is only 8 vibrations. You can actually listen to and count the vibrations of that note. That is only 8 hertz. A trombone pipe, 64 feet long, over 6 stories tall, basically the size of a freaking apartment building. The world's largest organ pipes. Okay, so that was the 64, which you're not going to hear that in many other places. Here's the 64. No. Okay, so here is a 32-foot double. So that was the Contra Trombone. Here's the double trombone, which is only, I can't believe I'm saying this, but only 32, because that is totally not long enough. Only 32 feet. And then a actually pretty normal and quite common, just a standard 16-foot trombone. Here is our trombone chorus of 16, 32, and 64. I bet the 64 ought to add some weird wavering to this one. Yes, that was the 64-foot being used with other trombones. That was the trombone chorus with the 64, and the 64 adds a pretty cool effect to that. Here we have an 8-foot cello. Pretty quiet. "16-foot double bass. And now that I look at the 27.5-minute video time, I'm kind of suspecting that this will be almost as long as the other organ stop tour. Okay, so that was the cello and double bass. Here is a 16-foot Subbas. Here is the 32-foot Untersatz extension by itself. Here it is with a 16-foot Principal. So here is a 4-foot trumpet. Eight-foot bass trumpet, an octave lower, which borrows from the 8-foot trumpet in the Great Division of the Berea Church. Love those. Here is an 8-foot Principal. "16-foot double Principal, an octave lower. Here is a pretty rare 32-foot Principal. Here's the Contra Principal, a 32-foot Principal pipe, the largest Principal pipes that you would find in the facade of an organ. Basically the humongous Principal pipes on either side that are 32 feet long. That's what these sound like. So the lowest note of that was a C 4 octaves lower than middle C, only 16 Hertz, 4 octaves lower than middle C. If you have high-quality audio systems, turn bass boost on, you should feel a humongous 16 Hertz come blasting through. So yeah, so that was the entire pedal division. Here is full pedal. with a tremulant. Oh no, that is not full pedal. There's still a 16-foot bassoon. Taken from the 16-foot fagot of the Positif on the Brea Church extended organ. Here's a 32-foot Contra Bassoon, and I made this by essentially making copies of the 16-foot octave notes, made copies of them, and then just put them into the organ, and then once the organ opens, go into the organ settings and digitally tune each sound file down the octave. So essentially, this is literally just this an octave lower. It is this very audio file right here, this audio file, that same file an octave lower. That's all it is. So, here it is. So there it is. Here's full pedal with tremulant. Or no, here's first tremulant example with, how about a Principal? Here's full pedal with tremulant. Whoops, I may have clicked on something. Oh crap. Yep, I just opened up the MIDI settings and I am blown away that it stayed recording. Okay, so here is full pedal with tremulant. Oh my, my audio is too loud. Okay, here it is. That was full pedal with the 64 in the background. So now I will leave you off with full organ, including all the tremulants of my organ that I have built here, and I saved my organ. It's literally just the Brea Church extended organ, basically taking that audio, putting most of it into this, and then just calling it mine. So here is full organ. Well, I tried adding in like an octave lower, but it didn't really work. Anyway, so that was the stop tour of my custom virtual pipe organ on Grand Orgway of mostly Brea Church extended audio files. So if you liked, make sure to show that you liked it with liking and subscribing to see more videos like this, and I will see you in the future. Bye, in the next video. Bye.